morning my focus is on Psalm 1. So to repeat some of the scripture that Glenn read for us this morning from the Old Testament. Blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. Dear friends, God has given us a roadmap to receive many blessings. When I think of the word blessings, the first thing that comes to my mind is when somebody sneezes, right? We hear, God bless you. It almost becomes commonplace. But blessings from God are something very special and very important. As early as the book of Genesis, God's blessings were revered. Hear the words from Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 3. Quote, "The Lord had said to Abram, leave your country, your people, and your father's household, and go to the land I will show you. I will make you into a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you, and whoever curses you I will curse, and all peoples on earth will be blessed through you." And from Genesis chapter 17, verses 18 to 20. "And Abraham said to God, if only Ishmael might live under your blessing. Then God said, yes, but your wife Sarah will bear you a son, and you will call him Isaac. I will establish my covenant with him, an everlasting covenant for his descendants after him. And as for Ishmael, I have heard you. I will surely bless him. I will make him fruitful and will greatly increase his numbers. He will be the father of 12 rulers, and I will make him into a great nation." End quote. Blessings are something we as people receive from God every day of our lives. Some things we take for granted, like our heart beating and our lungs exchanging oxygen for carbon dioxide, our brains thinking and processing all sorts of input, our livers cleansing the impurities from the foods that we eat, while other blessings we gaze upon with eyes of wonder, like the birth of a child and miracles of healing. God's blessing bestowed upon us bring us joy, peace, contentment, and happiness. Being happy doesn't mean everything is perfect in your life. It just means that you've decided to see beyond the imperfections. Again, let me read from Psalm 1. "Blessed is the man whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night." To love God is to love God's law. It doesn't have to be seen in the public square, but it does have to be written on our hearts. Last Sunday I shared a spiritual direction exercise with you called Who Are You?, where the directee sits in silence with their spiritual director while inviting God into the silence as the director asks the directee, "Who are you?" And as I was preparing this week's message, I came across a young lady whose video was entitled, "Known as the Girl Who Was Kidnapped." This was the story of Elizabeth Smart, who was abducted from her home at the age of 14. The story was in the news because her captor was being released from prison. The interesting part of this story is that Elizabeth will not allow herself to be defined by this unbelievable tragedy of being held hostage, drugged, and raped for 9 months. On the day she was rescued, her mother gave her a piece of advice that has carried her through her life in a very positive way. She said, quote, "Elizabeth, what these people have done to you is terrible, and there aren't words strong enough to describe how wicked and evil they are. They have stolen 9 months of your life that you will never get back. But the best punishment you could give them is to be happy. to move forward with your life, to do all things that you want to do. Because by feeling sorry for yourself, by holding on to the past, by reliving in it, that's only allowing them to steal more of your life away from you. And they don't deserve that. They don't deserve 1 single second more. So you need to be happy and you need to move on with your life. End quote. The good news of this story is that Elizabeth did take her mom's advice, and she realized it when it came time for the trial, and she went into the courtroom and she saw her captor, Brian Mitchell. She had been scared on the way to the courtroom. She wasn't sure how she would feel or react to seeing him again for the first time after she had been rescued. But when the guards brought him in with shackles around his hands, she had no fear of him. She knew that he no longer had any power over her in any way, and it was very empowering to Elizabeth. On the last day of the trial, Brian was found guilty. And the judge asked Elizabeth if she had anything to say to him. In her words, she stood up and told him he had no further hold on her, and he never would, and she was going to live a wonderful life. She continues with a smile on her face, quote, "And if I didn't say that in words, I certainly thought that." End. She adds, "I realize that forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for yourself. Life is so worthwhile no matter what has happened to you in the past. No matter what your background is, no matter what has happened, each of us deserves to be happy. Bad things happen, but that doesn't mean that they have to define you or destroy your life." Elizabeth continues, "Yes, I may always be known as the girl who was kidnapped, but that's okay, because I know that that's not what defines me as a person. That happened to me, but I have not let that stop me from going on, getting married, having a family, being an advocate for change, and an advocate for women and children, and really all victims." We have things that happen to us, and yes, they shape us, they mold us, but they don't have to define us. Because in the end, what defines you is how you react, the decisions that you make. You decide who you are. Being happy doesn't mean that everything's perfect, but it does mean that when life doesn't make sense and or it doesn't go the way we planned or even the way we hoped, we trust God. We trust God's plan. And we put our trust and our hope in the one who gave us life in the first place. As children of God, how we live our lives shows others how much fruit we yield. And so it's helpful to take stock of our lives and think about, what is the value of my life? What have my contributions to this world been? How have I made an impact on the lives of others? How have I been a blessing to those who have journeyed with me through my life? Claire, I'm going to use you as an example. You have been a blessing to your family, to those you love, and you've been an example. Not a boastful one, not a look at me, but a silent servant of God. We'll give you thanks for who you are. When we are filled with God's blessings, calamities may come our way, but our spirits will not wither like the dried up fig tree. marvelous to us when we meditate on his law day and night. When his law becomes a part of us that is so natural that we don't even take notice of it, when God's law becomes as natural as our breathing, we have found true spiritual peace. When God's law becomes as necessary as our lungs and our livers, then we are walking in the path of righteousness. Then we have no fear of our destiny. Then we have no doubt to whom we belong. Then we have an inner peace to fill the void of loneliness and despair. Before you go to sleep tonight, or in the line at the grocery store, or while you're waiting in a traffic jam, take the time to count your blessings and name them one by one.